Well, isn't another hook that they're hanging it all on the city of Jerusalem?
Poor Jerusalem. Why, what did it ever do to the divine to have this demand from Islam, Judaism or Christianity? They all want it. They all claim it. It's going to be the messianic capital of the world. If the Christians have their way, the United States will be ruled from Jerusalem. If the Muslims have their way, all Islam will be ruled by a caliph in Jerusalem. If the Jews have their way, all spirituality for the whole world will come out of Jerusalem. It's too much to put on to one rather small city, which is very beautiful. But why does it deserve this kind of trouble?
There is an almost mystical feel to the city, and I get the sense from your book that you feel that the mystical traditions of each faith are showing the way out of this impasse. Is that...
There's only one way out of this impasse, and that's to revert to the mystical traditions. That's the only possible way. You see, all three Abrahamic religions have had an inner and an outer aspect. The outer aspect is rather superficial, it's doctrine-based, it's word-dependent. The inner tradition, in Islam, for example, is the Sufis. In Judaism, it's Kabbalah. In Christianity, it's the mystical tradition. It's concerned with the direct experience of every person with divinity. They don't need an ecclesiastical hierarchy to mediate that particular experience or to mediate that connection. And of course, the hierarchies dislike the mystics because they lose control of them. You see, if every person has their own direct route to the divine, they don't need the church, or at least the church thinks they don't need it. It's very nice to gather together with people of your own beliefs in community.
Yes.
It's very nice. But the churches have become obsessed with their power structures and their manipulative procedures, and they are scared of the mystical because they think they would disintegrate. And to a certain extent, certain aspects of the religions would. But I think to come back to the quiet, still centre within each person is the only conceivable way that this can be turned around. As Rumi said, jars of spring water are no longer enough. Take us down to the river. And we need to swim in that river because to swim in that river is truly our birthright, and it's what we were here to do.
Well, Rumi is the perfect summary of, I think, of the conclusion of your book, isn't it? It's calling for return to the direct connection of each individual to the Creator.
I say at the end that it takes some courage.
It does.
And that's certainly true. And unfortunately...
And it takes work on the part of the individual.
But unfortunately, a lot of us don't have the courage, or we don't have the support system that will give us that courage. And so we adopt a kind of dogmatic system which we think will give us this pleasant support that we need, but in fact it doesn't. It simply closes us down and locks us into intolerance and incomprehension. I think it's very important times we're living in, because it's my suspicion that we may have crossed the Rubicon. We may actually have gone too far, but I'm hoping that perhaps I'm wrong and that we can still haul it back.
Well, let's hope that we can, because again, your book is titled "Racing Towards Armageddon," and it's up to every one of us to haul on the ropes and pull us back from the edge.
It is, and the only way it will happen is if all of us do haul on those ropes and pull it back. We have to take responsibility for it.
Thank you so much for your wake-up call, Michael. Michael Baigent.
Real pleasure.
Thank you.